Okay, guys, welcome just to this quick short video about the Nubby number factory trial number 5. I just wanted to show just quickly how I was able to beat it for people that maybe have struggled with it. I just want to see one possible solution for it, I guess. The strategy I went for is probably the most easy or like the most overpowered one in a way, where you get mannequin head and asbestos. It's all about just surviving until you're able to get that second black market after getting either asbestos or mannequin head, preferably mannequin head for the first black market, as it's easier to survive with for example, mannequin head and evil goose is a good combo for just usually getting enough points. As you can see, I got the cheese house first. Cheese house is great in the beginning to get some money stockpiled, so you have the option to buy whatever you need to buy. Now it's been a little while since I did this run, so we will look through it a little bit. Got the squid. Squid is also a good option here, as it is very versatile, and since I had the money from the cheese house, it works out really well. I got the seal probably because of mannequin head and like the halving mechanic that is what we're mostly going for. So just having the seal, probably not needed. I don't think it's ever necessary to have the seal. It's not adding that much value, but I got it, so it is what it is. Definitely, like I said, with this strategy, you have to get the black market key every time. Because you really want the mannequin head on the first black market. The reason this trial is challenging is because of the 2 lives from the very start of the game. So the early game is sometimes very annoying if you get unlucky rolls and bounces, and of course you have to make a build that will survive the last 2 rounds without perks. So here we can see I get the mannequin head. Now it's all about making sure that we can survive. It's a good start. It's the best start you can get, I think. So now it's just trying to do good shots and hopefully picking up some evil goose, which is probably the next best, or the best item to get now before getting asbestos. Of course, with the evil rodent, the mannequin head can go first, because you really don't need the mannequin head. The issue I have now that I definitely didn't think of when playing is putting, or actually I do remember now, getting the cheese house later in the item slots, but you couldn't copy the cheese house with the squid, so I had to keep them at that time currently. So now you see I moved the cheese houses to the end. You could maybe argue that it would be better to have the upgraded cheese house all the way at the end, but as we did win this run, it worked out anyways. But you probably could see that being good. There you can also see now with the strategy, just shooting the ball, dying as quickly as possible, so my perks can trigger the cheese houses, is like actually some of the time better than bouncing around, because the bounces aren't going to do much. Here I buy some items to make sure that the cheese houses survive longer with the evil rodent. And I put the mannequin head in slot 2 now, because That's where it needs to be later. So, and to make sure that the item doesn't destroy it, of course. And yeah, here you can see the power of Mannequin Head and just Evil Goose. Like, you're not gonna get insane scores, but you're gonna get over the score limit for a long time with just those two items, and then with the cheese house in the back is just like an extra precaution for that. Definitely, I probably think copying the Evil Goose now would have been better. Looking at it again now. But I probably didn't think about it at the time. Here I'm probably thinking about... Okay. I should have sold the seal there and probably eaten the cracker that was upgraded. Getting in... that should get an upgraded squid. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. As you can see, I'm not the greatest Nubby player to exist. So that just means that anyone can get this challenge completed. Of course, this is a way to not necessarily cheese it, but like since you're going for a specific strategy, it's not much thoughts going into it. Here I'm thinking like halving pegs, get some more points. I also was a little distracted during this run, so sometimes I will just pause. We might just skip that later. But yeah, I do end up getting that laser. Don't know why I clicked the freeze. Like I said, like a distracted run. Of course, the hot dog doesn't do much when you don't have much HP. But yeah, it's still like the strategy is hitting the highest peg so you get those points, and then yeah, going from that. Of course, you don't want perks that can force trigger every perk, because then you could force trigger the evil rodent quicker. It's just not necessary. And of course, you're going for a build that doesn't need perks anyways, so there's no point in taking many perks really, unless you absolutely have to survive. But right now, like, this run is probably already pretty safe. The only issue is not hitting the top score, and then the water droplet, like the evil item in slot 1, will make a lot of ones, and that will mess up the build currently. When you have asbestos, that doesn't matter. We get the evil goose upgrade, just some extra help. Yeah, I think I'm trying to like find some food items, just thinking about like, oh, what can help, but as you can see here now as well, even if you don't get the highest upgraded one, with the evil goose and the laser, I guess also helps. You can definitely just get the required score you need. Here I'm probably thinking about like if it's necessary to have the cheese house. Yeah, you can already see now like it's a way higher score when copying the evil goose now. I don't need a cheese house anymore. The cheese house is not doing much anymore. This perk is good for now, but of course, like I'm not having a trouble winning currently, and whenever I don't get it on the first life, I can usually get the life back on the second shot. So like the money might be more valuable. Of course, you could probably argue that just getting the perk for now until you get asbestos, that's probably the best way to go to make sure that you can survive. But I was feeling pretty confident at this point of the run that it will most likely end up okay. But of course, you can see it is still a decent chance to lose here. Not getting access to the highest peg, so to say, you will have the chance of losing. If you can aim for that highest peg, you will be fine, but When you can't, there is a chance to not get the score, and then with the 2 lives, that's what makes this challenge hard. The 2 lives, and then you're dead. So now here, as you can see, the next one is all perks are destroyed at round 78. That's not an issue. We don't need perks for this build. So now it's all about getting the asbestos now. Just means that the run is won. So here I think I'm starting to like, yeah, I was here. I'm like, don't tell me I lose this now, because like I don't have easy access to the big point one, but luckily I get that one, hit the top one here again, get my life back, and yeah, like there you could see it was easily could have easily been like the end of the run there. So you just really have to be careful. That's the only thing you have to really worry about. Here we get the black market, and we see asbestos is not here, but it is there, and that's all you need. I do sell the squid here, I think. Yeah, I should have sold the laser. The laser's pointless, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, here you can see, if you haven't seen the strategy with mannequin head and asbestos, what's basically happening is the asbestos triggers the item in slot number 2 every 5 halved pegs. That means that it triggers the effect of the item in slot 2. So it gets the effect of mannequin head, which is halving all the pegs, and since its trigger is halving 5 pegs, and every time it triggers it trigger more than 5 halves of a peg, since you're halving every peg on the board, it's an infinite loop, and it does the 30% decrease in like total or in score that you need to reach infinitely until you reach a score of 1 to win. And that's, yeah, like I said, at this point we got through the boss. The little the one boss item where if you destroy the peg, he destroys the item in slot number 2 can be scary, but you just have to make sure that the ball, like that Nubby, dies before like he can hit him, and make sure you don't have any other perks that pop pegs, because the evil goose won't pop pegs, the laser won't pop pegs. The only thing that pops pegs now is Nubby himself, and as you can see, when you have everything down to like 1 instantly, basically, Nubby can just bounce through them. So if that would have happened with Mr. Gingerhead, so to say, then the run would be over, Mannequin Head would be dead. But we were able to avoid that, of course, this run. So yeah, the rest of the run now, it's simply, you can even see like there's no chance of losing. It's infinite. You can go to around a trillion million with this build. I don't know actually. Yeah, because even when the score turns into like a Google score, it should still bring it down to like 1 as the score you need. So nothing can stop you at this point. You don't need the perks aren't doing anything. And yeah, so this is basically just showing you the one of the strategies to use for the Nubby trial. Honestly, except for trial 4, I think, where slot 2 gets covered, or it's something that makes this strategy hard to do on Nubby trial 4. But the rest of the Nubby trials, you can kind of force this build and just win all of them like this. Most challenges as well you can do like this. The expiration date one is hard to do like this. It's not really possible. There you would rather want like a popping build, and it's a, yeah, no, most other challenges you can do like a similar build to this, at least like with Mannequin Head and like Evil Goose, for example. That's also like a build that can just win a lot of challenges. So if you're struggling with something and you want it, like, just... You want to beat it, but you obviously don't want to like cheat it. This is like the half-assed way of making sure you're able to do it. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just buying things in the shop now. There's no reason. It's just how I play, I guess. I just end up like looking through it, not thinking much, a little distracted. But you can see, even with the boss now, like, it just halves pegs, and that's what I'm doing anyway, so it does not matter at all. And here we go. You broke the game with Nubby Trial 5. So yeah, that's like the easy way to win this. So I hope maybe you got something out of this, and yeah, thank you for watching.